to the regular meeting held on Wednesday, January 10th, 2018 at 7 p.m. Please call the order. Please call the roll.
Freeholder Yardley.
Here.
Freeholder Patillo.
Here.
Freeholder Lazaro.
Here.
Freeholder Graham.
Here.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Present. And stand for a moment of silence and salute to the flag, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice as defined by Section 3D of Chapter 231, PL 1975, has been made by regular mail, such notice being submitted on January 3rd, 2017 from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex, located at 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey, to the following: New Jersey Herald, New Jersey Sunday Herald, Star Ledger, WSUS Radio, WNNJ Radio, and is also posted on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for Public Announcements, and has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said act. I have a motion for approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Lazaro.
Second.
Second by Patillo. Discussion.
Yes, I'd like to make a change to Title 10D.
So, I'd like to make a motion,
A motion
to amend the agenda.
Amend the agenda. Do you want me to read that, or?
Read as it is now and then as it is.
Authorization to the Sussex County Office of Purchasing to make purchase directly from the Jersey Cooperative Pricing Council System, the Educational Services Commission of the new during the calendar fiscal year to 2018.
To
instead read authorization to the Sussex County Office of Purchasing to make purchase directly from the Educational Services Commission of new during the calendar New Jersey during the calendar fiscal year 2018.
Motion by Yardley.
Second.
Second by Lazaro. Discussion. This is just a title change. There was an issue with the original title. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Any further discussion on the motion as amended?
Yes, I'd like to change 12, strike out 1211 to 12H.
So the motion was to strike out 12A through 12H.
Yes.
Motion by Yardley.
Second.
Second by Patillo. Discussion.
Why?
These are not filled in, and they are completed now, but we're just going to push them back to the meeting on January 24th, so the public has a chance to see what is in those filled out ones.
By the table to be in order?
You table A through, you're tabling A through P?
Through H.
Through H. A through H.
You're actually striking
Okay,
out.
A through H.
Striking out.
It was striking out from the agenda,
Removal.
and then they'll just be put back on.
Right, so I through the end is going to be there, okay.
Yes, correct. So anything that's filled out is going to be. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Any further discussion on or agenda as amended?
Yes, I'd like to add 15C with the title. Which I shall read. Resolution adoption of the A 2018 temporary operating budget for the County of Sussex. Whereas NJSA 48:4-19 requires every county to make temporary appropriation prior to the 31st of the fiscal year sufficient to cover commitments made during the period of January 1st, the date of adoption of the budget, and whereas said statute also requires that the total of such appropriation shall not exceed 26 2/2500 of 1% of the total of all budget appropriations of the preceding year, less the amount of the appropriations for the debt service, capital improvement fund, and public assistance. And whereas the Sussex County Division of Finance has formulated a temporary operating budget for the year 2018 accountable against a budget limit of 26.25% in the amount of $219,123. And whereas said temporary budget amount represents 26.25% of the 2017 operating budget of $106,462,052.93, less debt service of $16,535,908.08. Capital improvements, $700,000. Public assistance, County Social Service Agency, $1,495,313.
450.
59,000.
59,000, sorry, $1,459,316. And public and private grants of $3,123,550.93. And whereas said temporary operating budget also makes appropriations for those appropriations not subject to the 26.25% budget limit, but are required to cover commitments made during the period of January 1st to the date of the adoption of the budget, including debt service, principal and interest, $6,318,883. Capital improvements, capital improvement fund, $315,000. Public assistance, County Social Service Agency, $380,206. And public and private grants, $2,763,497. $2,765,497. And now, therefore, be resolved that the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex hereby adopts a temporary operating budget for the year 2018 in the amount of $32,033,709, including $22,219,123 accountable against the budget limit of 26.25% and $9,814,586 for debt service, capital improvements, public assistance, and public and private grants, and as it appears on the attached budget detailed sheet. Further, be it further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution and attachment is available in on-base.
A motion by Yardley,
Second.
second by Lazaro. Discussion. Greg, can you?
Sure. This is a standard resolution that the Freeholder Board considers allowing the temporary operating budget to be put in place in accordance with budget law. This will allow us to be able to pay our bills and be able to meet payroll while the year's operating budget is refined and put before the Freeholder Board at a later time this year, again in accordance with the state budget law.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the amendment? All those in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, the amendment passes. Any further discussion on the agenda as amended? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, the agenda is approved with those changes. Proclamation certificate presentations. Proclamation in recognition of Terry Newhart of Norwest Cap as a recipient of the Distinguished Service Award by the Sussex County Council of Services Agencies. 2, proclamation in recognition of Nathaniel Emerson Guile earning the rank of Eagle Scout. A motion for those?
So moved.
Motion by Patillo,
Second.
second by Lazaro. Discussion.
I presented the proclamation to Terry Newhart this afternoon at Norwest Cap at a luncheon, and that was well received. It was a very fine luncheon and nice event.
And you're going to do the...
I'm going to do the Eagle Scout.
Okay, that's
That's on the
this
20th.
weekend. Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The motion passes. No public hearings. Public session from the floor. Please note everyone is asked to keep their comments to 5 minutes or less and only address issues regarding agenda items. Please state your name, spell your last name, and state your municipal residency. Have a motion?
I move the agenda, public session.
Motion by Lazaro.
Second.
Second by Patillo. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. The floor is open for the public. Seeing no one from the public, can I have a motion to close the meeting to the
So
public?
moved.
Motion by Patillo,
Second.
second by Graham. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, the floor is closed to the public. Freeholder comments. Can we have Mr. Gardner? No comments. Mr. Brown?
Yes, I'd like to make some comments. This has to do with transit. I see we have some folks from Health and Human Services here, Carol Norbert and Christine Florio. So as I go through this, if you can stand there and say you got that wrong or got that right, I'd appreciate it. Sussex County operates a transit system. It is primarily funded through what they call scatter tax, which is a funding mechanism that comes from the casinos. Because of the casinos' downward spiral in revenue, the amount of funding has been reduced over the years. There are those that would wonder why we would operate a system, but we do not have New Jersey Transit in any great capacity in Sussex County. There are a lot of people who have become stranded here because they don't have that as an opportunity to take care of. Our transit system is actually very, very strong, and as I go through over the next few weeks, we're going to talk more and more about it. But I wanted to bring to the Freeholder Board a request, and that is, we'd like to raise the profile of what we have here. It's not something that's going to cost more money, but it's going to take some planning and some consideration. What I found as I've gone around the county is we don't have signs. Where you take the bus becomes very, very arbitrary, especially to the drivers. In Sparta alone, or by Stop and Shop, it could be as much as 1,000 feet difference between where you stand and where the bus stops. The bus right now stops along the way, tries to pick people up, which throws their scheduling off. Sussex County has their own sign shop, we have our own poles, we have our own crews. I'd like to look at targeting several communities. Franklin is one of them that we have in mind, but about 3 other communities that we can start in 2018 to raise the profile of where these bus stops are. Also, and this is where I'm going to reach out a little bit to Carol Norbert, we believe that there is an opportunity through outreach money that New Jersey Transit might assist us in procuring shelters to be put in certain bus stop areas. I think this is an important, very, very important aspect of riding buses. I mean, I grew up in the city. I rode buses all the time. For those in the country, maybe that Alice smiles because Alice knows the city. You know, you always knew where the buses were stopping. We have to deal with this on a basis. So when I'm reaching out to the Freeholder Board is I've had discussions with our transit group, which is Carol and now it's Christine Florio, as well as those that work at Skylands Ride, about putting together a plan as to how we are going to improve our outreach throughout the county, but particularly how we're going to pinpoint certain areas around the county, particularly, like I said, start with Franklin, and I don't remember the other towns. You have the other towns?
Yeah, we have Franklin. We'd like to look at Newton as well.
Yes.
We want to look at the hospital, and we want to look at Hardiston and Ogdensburg.
And these are just the first step out because they're populated areas. They are many of these areas are populated by people who have gotten older and they don't use their vehicles. There's one more aspect I'd like to also push, and that is we want to reach out further to our congressional delegation, also our state delegations, to assist us with some further funding so that we can enhance our rides to Lions and to other clinics for the veterans. Veterans, as they get older, are also on a very limited basis of how they can get up and down. We only have 1 ride a week. It's very, very limited as to how we can do it up and back. We think that there's a way of improving this. What I'm asking the Freeholder Board is a nod to say, continue on with this. We'll take it back before we want to go with anything in particular, but I would like to pursue this. So that's basically my report and my request to the board.
Thank you. Mr. Lozano?
I had all my comments and they're sitting home on my desk. I walked out.
I'll go get 'em.
But so I'm going to be very brief, which everybody can be very grateful. And Jack, New Jersey Transportation Council had its meeting last month and approved the 2045 plan, which is a long-range plan for this, the northern section of the state of New Jersey. We were included in it for substantial increases for roads and bridge updates, which will be very helpful for us in the near future. The last 4 or 5 storms that we've had have generated 300,000 or so in energy. We have been putting our road department out on the roads as the snow begins, rather than putting them out there a couple hours earlier, thereby trying to save some dollars there. Some people were a little upset by it. Don't be. Once you get out of the Sussex County border, you can't go anyplace anyway. So have another cup of coffee and chill out and relax, and the roads will get cleared up pretty quickly. People have been very impatient with getting out and running around. We just have to slow down a little bit. The substantial accidents in the last week, 4 or 5 a day, and almost all of them were unnecessary, but people didn't want to wait at an intersection. I'm going to get there before you are. You don't save the 2 minutes and you lose the rest of the day, and then so it's just not worth it. So I encourage you to be careful about that. I want to comment and compliment the Health and Human Services Department for their activity during the last cold snap. We had filled up every available motel room in the county, and then some. But we housed, and correct me if I'm wrong please, we housed everyone who needed a place to be housed during that cold snap, and it was bitter, if you can remember it. So I know there was a lot of effort and energy that went into that, and I want to commend you for what you did to make sure that everybody at least had one warm night. And I'm glad we're now involved in this heat wave. And that's all I have for today.
Thank you, Mr.
And welcome, Mr. Director.
Thank you.
Good luck, have a great year.
And a heat wave at 30 degrees is good, amazing.
That's it.
Bill?
I would just like to speak on what George is talking about, because municipalities have such a difficult time of getting information out. You can use your website. If you have a newsletter, you can send that out, but I'm not sure if people read newsletters. But when you have a visual, you have a sign, it really is a great way to alert the community that there is this service, and I think that's a great idea. So other than that, I haven't been to any meetings since our last meeting, so.
That was a couple days ago.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll move on to approval of consent agenda. Resolution regarding authorization to the Sussex County Office of Purchasing to make purchases directly from the Morris County Cooperative Pricing Council during the calendar/fiscal year 2018. Resolution regarding authorization to Sussex County Office of Purchasing to make purchases directly from the Somerset County Cooperative Pricing System during the calendar/fiscal year 2018. Resolution regarding authorizing to the Sussex County Office of Purchasing to make purchases directly from the Bergen County Cooperative Pricing System during the calendar/fiscal year 2018. Resolution regarding authorization to the Sussex County Office of Purchasing to make purchases directly from the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey during the calendar/fiscal year 2018. Resolution regarding authorization to provide for the purchase of one Adani Compass X-ray scanner for the Keogh Dwyer Correctional Facility under a National Cooperative Pricing Contract provided by the National Cooperative Purchasing Alliance NCPA in amount of $186,495. Resolution regarding approval of the fiscal year FY 2018 Annual Transportation Program ATP State Aid Project Pool for the County of Sussex, and authorization for the Freeholder Director and Board Clerk to execute an agreement for the State Aid Counties under the New Jersey Transportation Trust Fund Authority Act in the amount of $5,057,931 for the fiscal year 2018. Resolution regarding authorizing the execution of an agreement between the County of Sussex and the County of Morris for the housing of Sussex County juvenile detainees in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 40A:65-1 et sec. and NJSA 40:A:1-10 et sec. Resolution regarding authorizing the execution of an agreement between the County of Sussex and the County of Morris for the housing of Sussex County youth shelter placements in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 40A:65-1 et sec. and NJSA 40:A:11-10 et sec. The Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex has reviewed the consent agenda consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that the adoption of said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. A motion?
So moved.
Motion by Patillo,
I'll second.
Second by Yardley. Discussion. Mr. Knopf, can you just briefly go over these?
I'd be happy to. The Resolution A allows for purchases to be made by from the Morris County Cooperative Pricing Council that reduces the cost of contracting for a variety of goods and services that the county will purchase over the fiscal year. The following resolutions, including B, C, and D, all allow for similar use of cooperative purchasing systems that are provided for under the Public Contracts Law that will allow the county to ultimately reduce the cost of contracting for the goods and services that the county will purchase in the coming year. Resolution E allows for the purchase of an X-ray body scanner, which will enhance the Sheriff's Department's ability to prevent weapons, narcotics, and other contraband into the corrections facility. Resolution F allows for the authorization of the annual transportation program that was developed by the County Department of Engineering and Planning and approves the county aid for fiscal year 2018 in the amount of $5,057,931 under the Transportation Improvement Program. Resolution G allows for the execution of an agreement with Morris County for the housing of juvenile detainees in accordance with applicable law. And H allows for the execution of a similar agreement with Morris County for the housing of county youth shelter placements in accordance with applicable law. Both resolutions G and H are resolutions or agreements that we've had with Morris County, and this simply allows that relationship to continue.
Any further discussion?
You don't have an eye? I do not.
Can you read this one? He has an H and no I. I have an I too.
Sorry.
We have two eyes.
You have an eye?
You have an eye, right?
Okay, I must have printed mine out from an earlier email. I am sorry about that.
Why don't we do this and then
We'll just do A through H, and then we'll come back and I'll read the others. So I apologize for that. So the motion before you is A through H, exclusive of I. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo.
Yes.
Freeholder Lazaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Graham.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Yes. Resolution regarding authorizing entry into an agreement with Justice Benefits, Inc. as the general partner of JBI Limited for specialized assistance for the review and investigation of additional funding sources for deferring existing county expenditures on the basis of its designation as an extraordinary unspecifiable service for a 12-month period beginning January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2018 in an amount not to exceed 18% of revenue paid to the Sussex County Jail. Have a motion?
So,
Motion by
Second.
Patillo, second by Lazaro. Any discussion?
Can I ask the administrator to speak on this one a little bit?
Yes. These are services that the county has used in the past that assist the Sheriff's Department, specifically jail staff, in identifying revenue sources that the jail may be eligible for in terms of being able to offset some of the costs. And they will go through and identify various state and federal programs that the jail might qualify for and assist in the procurement of those additional revenues.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo.
yes.
Freeholder Lazaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Graham.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of December 27th, 2017?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Graham.
Second.
Second by Patillo. Any discussion? Mr. Yardley here.
I'm going to abstain.
Since there is going to be an abstention, I ask for a roll call on this.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes. Excuse me, abstain.
Freeholder Patillo.
Yes.
Freeholder Lazaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Graham.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes for the executive session held on December 27th, 2017?
So moved.
Motion by Lazaro, second by Patillo. Discussion? Same thing, Mr. Yardley.
Abstain?
When we get there.
Oh, I thought you...
Can I-
Go ahead.
Can I repeat who motioned it and who seconded? Lozaro first.
Rosero, I was second.
Okay. Freeholder Yardley,
Abstain.
Freeholder Patillo,
Yes.
Freeholder Lozaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Graham,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Yes. Appointments and/or resignations. Resolution regarding reappointment of Wayne Dietz as a member of the Board of Commissioners of Sussex County Municipal Utilities Authority for a 5-year term to be effective February 1st, 2018, and expire January 31st, 2023. Resolution regarding
2022.
Can I have a copy of
Yeah,
it?
just take mine.
I'm sorry.
It should be 23, it's a 5-year term.
It's got 22 on mine.
I think it's a 5-year
All
term.
right, let's introduce it and then we can amend.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do I and J separately, if you don't mind. Resolution regarding reappointment of Wayne Dietz as a member of the Board of Commissioners for the Sussex County Municipal Utilities Authority for a 5-year term to be effective February 1st, 2018, and expire January 31st, 2022. Resolution regarding reappointment of Carl Meyer as a member of the Board of Commissioners, Sussex County Municipal Utilities Authority for a 5-year term to be effective February 1st, 2018, and expire January 31st, 2022. Can I have a motion on those two items?
I'll make your motion.
Motion by Graham,
I'll second it.
second by Lazaro. Discussion.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to amend it to read 5 years.
How do you count that? Do you count 18 as year
Yes.
one?
No, no.
You count the full year, so it's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
But you're not going a full year with till January 31st of
It's again,
22.
it's got to be December
It's
31st,
23.
2022.
5 years is 23.
Count from 18.
Yeah, count from 18. The first year is 19, 20, 21, but I got 5. So 23 is 5 years.
23.
23.
Is that on this common core?
23 years, that's,
20 years, all counting on our fingers.
yes, 23 is what it should be.
So you count it as 19 the first year, because you're going
Okay.
from December to
Right.
January to January.
So what I
So
would,
if you wrote it from December to December,
Yeah.
then it would be up to 22?
Yes,
So,
yeah, so it goes to January, that's why it's going to 23.
23, so it's January 23.
so the original version was correct, however, we read it into the record wrong, so here's what I'd like you to do. If somebody could make a motion to amend these, to change the date on both I and J from January 31st, 2022 to instead read January 31st, 2023.
I
I
just
like-
did.
Yeah, he
Motion
made
by
that.
Lazar.
Yes, and I'll second it.
Second by Graham, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, the motion is amended. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Freeholder Yardley,
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo,
yes.
Freeholder Lozaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Graham,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Abstain. Resolution regarding appointment of Christine Florio and Joseph Cronin as members of the Sussex County Local Advisory Committee on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse for the terms of 3 years each, term to expire December 31st, 2020. Resolution regarding reappointment of Sean Highland, Consumer Advocate, male, Kathy Pross, Provider Member, female, and Adele Wines, Consumer Community Member, female, as members of Sussex County Human Services Advisory Council for terms of 3 years each, terms to begin immediately and expire on December 31st, 2020. Resolution regarding reappointment of Keith Utter as the alternative member / fire protection subcode official for the Sussex County Uniform Construction Code Board of Appeals, fulfilling an unexpired term to expire December 31st, 2021. Resolution regarding appointment of Bernard Kochkowski as the alternate #1 member / fire official for the Sussex County Uniform Construction Code Board of Appeals to fill an unexpired term to begin immediately and expire December 31st, 2021. Resolution regarding appointment of Sharon
Nice Italian girl.
I'm sorry, Sharon, I missed your name. Female provider. Rachel Helt, female provider, and Haley McCracken, female provider, as members of the Sussex County Human Services Advisory Council for terms of 3 years each, terms to begin immediately and expire December 31st, 2020. Resolution regarding appointment of Marguerite Goodell, female consumer, Valerie Macchio, female consumer, and Tamara Siegel, female consumer, as members of Sussex County Human Services Advisory Council for terms of 3 years each, terms to begin immediately and expire December 31st, 2020.
So moved.
Motion by Liz.
Second.
Second by Graham. Discussion.
I'd
We get
like-
the dates right on these?
I think the dates are good on these. I'd like to thank all the people that are, have put themselves out there to serve on these boards. Some of these boards, such as especially the Human Services Advisory Council, is a lot more than just taking meetings. It's a lot of thought, it's a lot of process. I want to single out a couple of people on here. One of the people on here, Adele Wines, is 91 years old, I believe. don't tell her that we know that. But she's an amazing lady. She's an advocate for anybody that needs an advocate. She's a great lady. But I just want to thank everybody who serves.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Freeholder Yardley,
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo,
Yes.
Freeholder Lazaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Graham,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Yes. Awards of contracts / change orders / bid. Award of contracts. Resolution regarding awarding a contract extension to the competitive contracting process with Advanced Business Equipment for the purchase of software solution to control personnel, computer access times, and printer functions with a payment kiosk for use in Sussex County Library System from February 1st, 2018 to January 31st, 2019 in an estimated amount of $8,568. Resolution regarding awarding a contract extension of family intervention services through the competitive contracting process for the provisions of outpatient psychiatric counseling services for the citizens of Sussex County from January 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2018 in the amount of $82,115. Resolution regarding awarding a contract extension of Scott's right to the competitive contracting process for the provisions of transportation services for the citizens of Sussex County from January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2018 in the amount of $34,885. Resolution regarding awarding a contract extension to Newbridge Services, Inc. through the competitive contracting process for the provisions of outpatient psychiatric and counseling services for the citizens of Sussex County from January 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2018 in the amount not to exceed $65,000. Resolution regarding authorization to provide for the purchase of 2 service bodies for the Department of Public Works and Division of Fleet Management from Cliffside Body Corp. in the amount of $44,927. Resolution regarding awarding a contract extension to the Domestic Abuse and Sexual Assault Intervention Services, Inc., DAISY, through the competitive contracting process for the provisions of trauma, recovery, and empowerment group services for the citizens of Sussex County from January 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2018 in the amount of $11,250. Resolution regarding awarding a contract through the competitive contracting process for data processing software / service to provide for a payroll accounting system and human resources information system for the period beginning on the date of contract award and ending December 31st, 2018, the amount not to exceed $42,858. Motion?
A motion approved.
Motion from Graham.
Second.
Second by Patillo. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Freeholder Yardley,
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo,
Yes.
Freeholder Lazaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Graham,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Yes. Change orders. Resolution regarding award of change order number 1 final to contract between the County of Sussex and Colonelli Brothers, Inc. for the repair of Sussex County Bridge X-08 Martin Station Glenwood Road over Wallkill River Relief Channel, Wantage Township, New Jersey, representing a decrease of $12,961.50 or a 11.32% reduction in the contract.
So moved.
Motion by Lazar,
Second.
second by Patillo. Discussion.
11.32% reduction in contract. Just wanted to read that again. It has a nice ring to it.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
That's the second one.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Freeholder Yardley,
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo,
Yes.
Freeholder Lazaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Graham,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Yes. Financial. Resolution regarding payment of bills.
Motion to pay bills A.
Second.
Motion by Lazar, second by Graham. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Freeholder Yardley,
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo,
Yes.
Freeholder Lazaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Graham,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Abstain. Resolution regarding payment of bills.
Wait a second. If you're abstaining from the first one, then Sylvia, you have to abstain too. You
I
want-
thought it was the second one.
Well, it was, when I sent the email, it was the second, but you really should be abstaining from the second.
Okay, well, you can leave the extension as it is, since we finished doing the vote, and then I'll abstain from number 2 as well. I'm sorry I got that. Resolution regarding payment of bills B.
So moved.
Motion by Lazar,
Second.
second by Graham. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Freeholder Yardley,
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo,
Abstain.
Freeholder Lazaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Graham,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Abstain. Resolution regarding adoption of a 2018 temporary operating budget by the County of Sussex.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Graham, second by Lazar. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Freeholder Yardley,
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo,
Yes.
Freeholder Lazaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Graham,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Yes. No personnel. Administrative report.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Director. I just want to advise the board, along with the public, that work continues on the development of the 2018 county operating budget and capital improvement program. I'll be meeting with our financial professionals tomorrow to review the most current draft, and I would expect that within a week's time to call a meeting of the budget subcommittee to review the progress that's been made. Also, I want to advise that we have received a request from Andover Borough for the county to provide fire prevention services. I've been in contact with the county fire marshal who indicates that his office has sufficient capacity to be able to take on Andover Borough and its need for fire prevention services. I will continue to work with the fire marshal and speak with county council relative to development of a shared services agreement that the board could consider relative to Andover Borough's request.
Thank you. Mr. Administrator, Council?
Nothing to report.
Thank you. No unfinished business. Any new business before the board? Seeing none. No executive session. Public session from the floor. Please note, everyone is asked to keep their comments to 5 minutes or less. Please state your name, spell your last name, state your municipal residency. I have a motion open.
Motion open.
Second.
From Graham, second by Lazaro. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The floor is open to the public.
John Snyder, Sampson Township. Just had a question about Freeholder Graham's comments about, you referred to the transit system. What is it?
Skylands Ride, well, Skylands Ride is, and for those small buses, you can't miss them, the white buses, when they have the insignia on the front.
I just wondering, how many buses are there, how many employees are there? how many-
Well, I would defer on that one. I'd like to get the message out. You ordinarily, we kind of like listen, and, but Carol, could you give us those numbers?
We have 24 buses, and we have, I can't swear to the number of employees. I believe there's 31 employees. We have 24 bus drivers. Some of those are part-time. We provide a few kinds of services within the county. One is the public bus service, which Freeholder Graham and Freeholder Patillo were referring to with the signs for public bus. We also provide paratransit type service, which we call demand response service. So we do a lot of business with that. Most of our buses do the demand response, where we take mostly seniors or people who are very disabled to medical appointments, shopping, to the grocery store, to get their prescriptions.
So there's 31 employees plus 24 drivers, does that include?
No.
No, it
That's
includes
all
24
inclusive.
drivers.
It's all inclusive.
And have their own mechanics, or?
That goes through our shop. We have our own mechanic system. And like I said to you before, this is funded primarily from what they call scatter-tap, state money. And the one other aspect is the veterans service. We want to improve that. It's something that is very limited in scope, and anybody who knows trying to get to a doctor appointment at a specific time and such, it's becoming more and more difficult for seniors who are veterans to get to their appointments, and this is one of the ways that it's done, and that's done through the on-demand service. On-demand service, is that part of it?
That's correct. It's
a
the, yeah,
regular-
on demand for the veterans. The
Right.
veterans, they take them to a number of different clinics depending on their needs. They go to Castle Point, New York State, usually once a month. They go to Ender Lyons. Sometimes they go into East Orange or into Newark, depending on the needs of the veterans. And if I can just talk about my one veteran quickly, who is 99, and he was on the boat when the Japanese surrendered. And we're able to take him. Yeah, he's a real nice guy.
And it services all
Anybody who's on.
municipalities and?
Yes.
Yes.
Not every municipality is serviced. It is a loop. And do you have any of the brochures with you? If you don't, I have some of my.
I don't, I'm sorry, but,
On the way out, I can give you a loop. But it is a loop service, set times, set places. The problem is, that's why I want to raise the profile, is that people do not know where those places are. So often we'll find our bus just doesn't have.
I'm surprised you get a 24 bus. I thought you could say 3 or 4.
No, we have 525 square miles. You know, we have to cover a lot of places. And another thing is, it's part of our economy, because there's a lot of people that have to get out shopping, and they can't get out shopping without this. You stand by ShopRite or stand by Walmart, and you will find a lot of people coming off that bus. College, a lot of college students use this bus system to get themselves to the college. The hospital.
And when people use the service, is there a fee?
There's a what do they call it? They don't use it as a
On
fee.
the public bus, there's a $1 fee. On the other buses for transportation, there is a $2 suggested donation.
I'm not sure what you mean by
Veterans
just
are
public.
free.
Public bus.
The public bus is the loop.
The public bus has a route, just like you would have like in New York City.
Who can get on that bus? Is that the question?
Well,
Yeah, anyone can get on the public bus for $1. But even the demand response bus, we try to service everyone, even though it's primarily for seniors as well as for disabled and people who are going to work. We have a big service taking people to work and home.
And the appointments have to be made in advance by how many hours?
2 days in advance.
48 hours in advance.
Or 48 hours, on 48 business days. 48 hours, 2 business days.
Then we have a link that goes to out of county, because many of our seniors, their doctors are not in Sussex County. So the link takes them to Morris County and is picked up by another service. What's the other service, Carol?
Yes, it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday that service is, which we really need it every single day. And we take seniors down for services that they cannot get within Sussex County for certain cancer treatments and other kinds of treatments. We also have a large dialysis service, taking seniors to dialysis, and when they're in the more southern part, we take them to Kenville on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Otherwise, we take them here into Newton. And that's a lifeline for people.
Carol has, with her staff, has found a way of somehow or another splitting a penny so many different ways you can't even measure it.
It's true.
thank you.
Come to the fair on Senior Day, and you'll see the bus drivers get their awards for safe driving and all the good things that they've done. You'll get to see a glimmer of a nutshell capsule of what the bus system is all about.
There's another aspect to this too, and that is having to do with welfare checks and adult protective services. We have, our drivers get used to the clientele. Steady people that go on a regular basis, pick somebody up in Lafayette, take them to the stores or whatever. And when those people don't show up, it's not uncommon that they radio back to headquarters and make phone calls to find out where they are, because they get to know these people. And we have had a number of cases where people have been in jeopardy, and sometimes they've passed, and that's the way that they've been found. In terms of adult protective services, there are people that are living in squalor and such, and their condition becomes apparent on the buses, and it's another way of being able to observe what's going on. And it's trying to put a focus on those people that are the least, I say the most vulnerable, I guess that's the best way.
Thank you.
And if I can mention, we do about 113,000 rides a year. And the reason there's not more rides is that we put over 750,000 miles a year on the buses. And most of our drivers receive a safety award.
Thank you for
Yes,
asking.
thank you.
Anyone else in the public?
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Gil Kenny, K-E-N-N-Y. I live in Green Township. Couple items here. I want to go to that consent agenda. I know these things have already been voted on, so I don't know if on those calls not much concerned about. On the consent agenda, item E talked about the need for X-ray machine, which seems pretty high to me. The price of it, I'm not familiar with X-ray machine.
The body machine,
Okay.
the body scanner.
But I wasn't aware that there was a drug and weapon problem so much at the county jail. I've never heard of it.
All the time.
Okay. Well, maybe they can do cavity searches, I don't know.
That's what the body scanner does, so you don't have to do that.
Oh, okay. My next colonoscopy
See that?
appointment.
That's it.
And what I was gonna follow that up with was that on the, that item I brought out the fact that there is a section of them that are looking to get the federal money or Homeland Security money, and that's what it did. So one, the other one, I thought that's coming out of our pockets. On the appointments schedule, I'm just curious if the board are addressing people as male or female because that's what they identify as, or is that DC, or I mean?
It's called out on these boards that there has to be a certain amount of male, female, there has to be a certain amount of
Others?
No, not others. Not others. We'll be serious for a second here.
I know I am.
Consumers, the call out is so the board is a balanced board of various different people. And especially on Health and Human Services, the Human Services Advisory Council, there's a criteria for all membership. And that's how the membership is for a certain amount of years, and that's why it's called out that way.
Okay, I mean, is that a politically correct thing that they came up with, or is that as it's always been? Because there are three ladies up behind here tonight, and maybe one of them is really qualified. Maybe the other two aren't, but if the board says I have to have two ladies, then they get one qualified, one unqualified. How does that work, just to fill, it's like what do they call it, the college kids, you get in because you fit a certain role. I mean, what I'm really saying is, why don't we just get the most qualified person, regardless of who, what, or when?
These are states. Are these state, Carol? Are these state
Excuse me?
requirements?
Yes, they are.
State requirements.
Okay, well,
And there's what they call bona fide qualification of why you would need to have a female or a male in certain roles. But it doesn't mean if somebody's unqualified that we would necessarily take them. We would continue to search.
okay, I just struck me as the new mob age, something, I don't know. Another, I didn't see a reference, but going back to the director's speech on Monday, he talked about litigation. That goes to the whole soul debacle, I get that. I don't know if there's, pursue this litigation because there was money spent on it on the last budget. I think up to $500,000, I don't know if they spent that amount, it's not the issue. Would it become public knowledge, or is it something you want to hold close to the vest until it actually occurs? Because I think that there are people who really would like to see some people pony up and go to jail, to be honest with you. Because when I follow the money somewhere, it doesn't add up. So, you proposing litigation, litigation with certain targets in mind.
I think you're asking, will you know if litigation begins?
Yes. You when and who by.
Yes, you would see an item in the budget, most likely, and you would also see a resolution hiring a law firm to do that if and when the board decides to move forward with that.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
should be fairly
Because
obvious.
I know you said it was the last thing you brought up, and I thought,
Yeah.
hallelujah in that sense. So, the other thing I thought about, I mentioned this to Freeholders the other night.
1 minute, Mr. King.
Thank you. About the rhetoric that some people, there's a rather loquacious individual who's not here tonight, but has a lot to say about many things, as do I and other people. I'm not denying is right. But the labeling of this person's article in the newspaper of right-wing extremism and bloodthirsty stuff, and then bring that same agenda here, I'm hoping that there becomes a little more civility, that we don't label people, because once we cross that line, it's kind of hard to draw back and work together. I'm not going to mention any names, but you can go read the letters and dime this. And the last thing I would like to say, in reference to the new kid, first time on the big stage over here, I would hope that in the future he pre-reads, because he's a little stumped, nothing personal. But, you gotta get it out there. I know it's nerves when you're on the big stage for the first time. I'm gonna see if he comes up with seconds. Throw me out. So thank you, and welcome to the new members of the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments from the public?
Glenn Hull, HULL, Sanderson Township. I approached you at the reorganization meeting requesting the freeholder board to reach out and ask for an investigation. I hope that you make this decision to do so. And the reason I'm asking this is because during this time frame, this has taken place from 2008, when the deed was recorded as a sale of property, until now. It's still going on. And the reason I'm asking is that I did go to the prosecutor's office, and they initiated a case. It's investigation 11-359. And during that investigation, it ceased. That investigation ceased when I requested documents that were sent, removed from the Hall of Records and sent to the Destruction Department, hiding who took part in this. They never retrieved them. And those documents, if they had been lost, luckily I copied them when I was made aware of them. Had those documents been lost, I would have had no idea who took part in this. And those documents state who one county employee is who took part in this. And this deed was recorded as accepted first. It was accepted first on June 16, 2008. It was accepted without a lot and block, which is a violation of the Recording Act. It was accepted without a price, which is a violation of the Recording Act. And it was accepted without the proper acknowledgement, which is a violation of the Recording Act. Acknowledgement is specific for a deed transferring property. Those three requirements were missing, and this deed, this quitclaim deed, should have been rejected at the Hall of Records at that time. Now, it was accepted, and when it's accepted, a cover letter is created, and that's one of the documents that was sent out, removed from my vision. When I asked to see it, I was told it couldn't be found, and that was one of the documents that was sent out to be destroyed. That cover letter states who brought it in. And now, when a deed is recorded for the United States, any deed, it has a guarantee from the United States. It's done by the Realty Office under the auspices of the Attorney General. The U.S. Solicitor is who records deeds. He promulgates who does it for him. And there's a written guarantee that comes with it. There's requirements for a deed to be recorded by the United States. This has to be researched, title search. Anything that's in the way cannot be, the deed cannot be recorded claiming property of the United States without all this done. Well, this deed had been sent to the Park Service prior in 1989, and the U.S. Solicitor rejected this particular instrument with 7 objections, and I had that. I had that. That was hidden from me in the beginning, but I had that now. And at that point, this person who was not to record deeds took this instrument, Hall of Records, filed it, and at that point, someone in the Hall of Records fabricated a price and a real estate transfer tax. And at that point, the deed was mailed on to the Park Service, and then it was used as Exhibit A in a lawsuit as a transfer of property, claiming to be a transfer of property in the lawsuit that Sanderson Township transferred property, and that the United States is the owner. Now here's where I'm going to go with that. This deed was never sent on to the Realty Index as requirement. Part B of the New Jersey statute in recording deeds is the deed is not a transfer of property until it is indexed in the recording index, which is taxed.
1 minute.
Pardon me? 1
minute?
I'm asking for an extension, please, so I may go on. May I have it?
That's not up to me to give it to you.
Pardon me?
I can't give that to you.
All right, where I'm going is Sussex County in 2008, December 4th, 2008, Sussex County tax administrator wrote a letter to Bertie Ray from the tax administrator that there were no transfers of property from the Township of Sanderson to the United States. And this is done under Public Law 94-6, or excuse me, Public Law 94-565, payment in lieu of taxes. The county keeps track of all transfers of property for the Park Service because there's a revenue sharing on this. And it says here, in reviewing all deeds.
Time.
Okay, Mike, may I have an extension or not? I'm requesting a motion be made for an extension.
So the Freeholder Board could make a motion to suspend the rules and extend public comment for some number of time if they should choose to do so.
I'd make that motion to extend the time for another 3
So
minutes.
the motion would have to be that you suspend the rules and extend the time for speaking by some number of minutes.
Okay. So I'd make a motion to
Suspend the rules.
suspend the rules, and would 3 minutes be okay? Could we do this in 3
Possibly,
minutes?
yes, I appreciate it, thank you.
Okay, we'll extend it for 3 minutes.
Motion by Patillo,
Second.
second by Lazaro. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. It's unanimous.
Okay. This is from Bernie Ray from Carroll Dennis, Tax Administrator, Public Law 94-565, Payment in lieu of taxes, December 4th, 2008. In reviewing all deeds recorded to date for 2008, I find that there were no properties acquired by the federal government in Montague, Sanderston, or in Walpack. Listed below are the figures by township indicating the dollar amounts for taxes. Okay, what this means is there was no transfer of property, and that deed never was indexed. So what I'm asking.
But does that have to do with pilots, or does that have to do
Pardon
with,
me?
does that have to do with deeds, or does that have to do with pilots? You're talking about payments in lieu of taxes.
This is,
I'm not cutting into your time, I'm just, it just, you seem to be one area here.
pardon me? Oh.
Never mind, I'm sorry.
She's certifying here that there was no properties transferred to the federal government.
Regarding pilots.
Regarding what?
Pilots, P-I-L-O-T-S, that's what you said. I'm not yelling at you, it's just that you keep someone like this.
Yeah, well, I don't
Payment in
understand
lieu
what
of
a pilot
taxes.
is.
You just said it, payment in lieu of taxes, you just said that. It's a pilot.
A pilot.
Yes, so you're saying under the pilot, there's no exchange. So what I'm saying is it everything, or is it just on pilots?
There was no properties transferred that year to increase the pilot. There was no property transfers that year, is what she's saying. According to this deed that was recorded, it was recorded as a transfer of property to the government. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, with that acknowledged, that if the county is saying nothing happened, how did this thing get a price affixed to it and a real estate transfer tax affixed to it? It's in the recordings. Somebody did records tampering here. So what I'm asking,
It's someone who can.
I'm asking that this board reach out, because the local law enforcement isn't going to do anything. And
1
this
minute.
document here, I'm sorry,
1 minute.
1 minute, okay. The United States says it didn't happen. Sanderson Township says there was no transfer. The deed, Sanderson Township says we did not recognize any ownership of property in that quitclaim deed. Yet somebody in this county fabricated a price, and fabricated a real estate transfer tax. Okay, and then build it on so it could be used in a lawsuit as a claim of property transfer. So what I'm asking for is that this board, it's going to take a hard decision, it really is, to reach out. I want the FBI brought in on this. I'm asking you to bring in the FBI. If this, you still have an employee working here who was involved in this, name's right on this. Name's right here. And this document was sent out to be destroyed. When I asked to see these documents, non-essential records, I was told they couldn't be found. That was in 2010. In 2011, early 2011, these are late 2010, they showed up at the office where the documents are destroyed.
Time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the
I hope you wait.
Anyone else from the public? Seeing no one else from the public, can I have a motion to close the public session from the floor?
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Patillo, second by Graham. Discussion? All those in favor? Those opposed? The ayes have it. The floor is closed to the public. Reminders, January 11th, 2018 at 7:30 p.m. Water quality meeting has been canceled. That would normally be here. On January 11th at 1 p.m., UCC also canceled. January 16th, 2018 at 7:30 p.m., the Agricultural Development Board here in this room, Freeholder Meeting Room. January 17th, 2018 at 9 a.m., HSAC at Project Self-Sufficiency. January 17th at 12:30 p.m., SCYSC here in this room, the Freeholder Meeting Room. January 18th, 2018 at 3:30 p.m. Licata, here in this room, Freeholder Meeting Room. January 22nd at 3 o'clock p.m. Planning Board Development Review in this room, Freeholder Meeting Room. January 24th, 2018 at 7 o'clock p.m. is our next regular Freeholder meeting here in this room, Freeholder Meeting Room. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Lazar.
Second.
Second by Patillo. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The meeting is adjourned.